So this is how AMBA based system will look like. Here your ARM processor core, and we have a DMA controller, which is direct memory access controller, and there is an on-chip RAM, and external devices like test interface controller, external bus interfacer, UART, universal asynchronous receiver transmitter, timers, peripheral interface. UART is a serial interface, and peripheral interface, if I want to connect, I can connect. So these and all like low speed or low performance, so they are connected via using APB. And coming to this on-chip memory or DMA controller can be interfaced via this ASB or AHB. And coming to test interface controller, when you see this picture, this is very new to us. Test interface controller, what is the purpose of this is this ARM AMBA based system, it will enable each module to test whether it is working correctly or not by using this test interface controller. Like how many modules you are going to interface with, we can able to test it separately or independently. That is done by this test interface controller. And coming to this is, if you are having many master 1 2 3 and many slaves also, slave 1 2 3, how the connection is being done. No need to draw these and all, just understanding purpose I given this diagram. Why? Because next we are going to see about what are the various bus transfer. That time you have to know who is a master, who is a slave. So here the master can be of your processor side, and slave can be of external devices. And this arbiter, I already told in the previous slides, arbiter is responsible for providing the priority for the bus request based if there is any conflict of the request has been happening. So we'll be seeing what is this use of arbiter. So we can assume, for a simple understanding case, one master and one slave peripheral devices, and there is one arbiter. This slave peripheral devices is asking for some bus. It needs some bus to transfer its data or address. So that time what will happen is, first a request has been sent to the master. So master is nothing but our processor core. And second, from the master, what is the next step? It will go to the arbiter. It will go to the arbiter, a request for the bus. This arbiter will have all the information about the buses, whether it is free or not, whether it has been already used or not, everything will be available. So this arbiter will provide a request grant. So request has been given and then request has been granted. Once the request has been granted, then it will issue that signal to the slave. So its slave is our peripheral device. So this will happen in a sequential manner. So first it is asking for the request of the bus. So the master will give that to arbiter. Arbiter will grant the bus, and that is given to the slave device. So coming to the various when the buses has been received the grant, bus master has been received the grant, then what is the next thing is, it will provide the following signals. So the first one is a transaction. This bus transaction indicates how about the address we are transmitting, whether we are transmitting sequential address or non-sequential address, and then your actual address bus. And then the third one, bus transfer direction, whether you are writing the data or whether you are reading the data, that is called as direction. And bus protection signals, this gives information about whether we are fetching the data or fetching the instruction, or whether it is working in user mode or whether it is working in a supervisory mode. So this is information is being given by the bus protection signal. And the transfer size, bus size, as we already know that ARM bus core will support data types like byte, half word and word. So what is the size we are going to use, that is also to be mentioned here. And bus lock, so this bus lock signal is being initiated, and when it is initiated is the master will retain the bus. So that time the lock signal will be given to the slave. And the last one, data bus, through that I can able to transmit the data. And the last things, this also related to the bus transfer signals, bus weight. So whenever a slave devices is having getting this bus weight, now what it should do, the slave should insert the weight states. So like we have used it in the pipelining architecture, so NOP signals can be given, or bubbles can be included, like that wait states are included so that it will wait for the bus. And bus last, what is the meaning of bus last? The master will initiate the new transaction of the bus, and currently have happening, the burst mode will be terminated and the bus master will ask for the new request. So that time bus last signal will be given. And bus error, so whenever the requested transaction is not completed, that time bus error will be happening. So these and all related to the bus transfer signals which is happening in AMBA bus architecture. Thank you.